going on, you guys? As we know right now, it's somewhat of a dry spot in the sport of boxing. We tend to have these every once in a while, even though the sport is an all-year-round sport. It's little moments of, dryness, so to speak. But there's always something going on, and one guy named who's always been in the mix is Shakur Stevenson. Whether he has a fight lined up or not, there's always something going on with Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur Stevenson gets asked about Gervonta Davis on $1 Million Worth of Game with Wallow and Gilly the Kid. And yeah, Shakur Stevenson, as we know, has been looking for the smoke for everybody from the top to the bottom of the lightweight division. And luckily for him, Edwin De Los Santos stepped up to the plate, another guy who's seemingly avoided at the very competitive 135-pound division. But Shakur gets asked about Tank Davis, and as we know, Tank Davis, last we heard, his team, Coach Calvin Ford, his trainer, said that they was looking at the Pitbull Cruise, not a fight that boxing fans is looking forward to. But Shakur Stevenson says this about Tank Davis.
Stopping that fight?
I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm not Tank at the end of the day. I'm gonna be like real. I'm a real nigga. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I'm not Tank. He's the big star. He's the pay-per-view star. I can't throw no offers to Tank. I'm not. Who am I to throw an offer to the biggest star in boxing? Mm-hmm. What I'm offering him? What? Like, it don't make sense. So that would have to be on their part, on their team to want to do that. I want to do it. I would love that fight. I think that's the best fight in boxing if we speaking like skills wise. He's not gonna tell y'all that because however he be thinking, he think the way that he think. But me, truthfully, I think that's the best fight in boxing, and I want to prove to the world who I truly am. So you can name 5 fighters, but all them other dudes don't matter. There's one person I really got my mind on at the end of the day that I really want to fight when it comes down to it.
Now, to hear what Shakur had to say, he said he a real ninja. He said he acknowledges that Tank Davis is the biggest star in boxing, and basically, in order for a fight like that to happen, it'll have to be upon Tank Davis's wanting it to happen. But as we know, Tank Davis is not gonna want it to happen. If you backtrack to 2019, some years ago, right? Tank Davis came out and said, "Shakur, you good, but stop calling me out, please, and the rest of you babies." So he told the younger guys some years ago, right? About 3 years ago now, or 4 years ago now, right? To stop calling him out, you and the rest of these babies. Well, these babies are now young men, or grown men now. What's up with the smoke? Oh, no, we ain't gonna deal with it at all. And as a Tank fan, I always got to call it out how I see it. He got out of jail. He was locked up for a little minute, spending time with his family, et cetera, et cetera. That's cool. I've been peeping that. But as far as boxing, what's next for Tank Davis? We don't know. We hearing about Pitbull Cruise. That's not what we want to do. It's not what we want to do. We don't want to do the Pitbull Cruise fight again, at least right now. There's other better fights that could have been made, but unfortunately, a lot of these guys, when there's no fights lined up, and I say this and I'm going to say it again, when there's no fights lined up, it's really, really quiet. When there's fights lined up, it gets really, really loud. And there's only a few certain guys that's really, really loud when it's quiet. And guys like Shakur Stevenson is really loud when it's quiet. And it may turn some fans off. It may turn some people off. But Shakur Stevenson is letting everybody know he's here and he's looking for all the smoking. He ain't ducking and dodging nobody. And it's up to these guys to go call his bluff or to go test those waters, right? But nobody's going to do it. And you would think that a guy like Tank Davis would do it, right? Because if you look at it on paper, that's a very, very compelling matchup. Stylistically and everything else, that fight is checking all the boxes. But guess what? It's not going to happen anytime soon, if at all. If at all. Tank Davis is, 28 now? He's closer to 30 than he is to 20 now. And then when he gets in his 30s, we may start to see a slippage in his speed and his reflexes and things of that nature, and he's going to be getting hit more in fights. Does Tank Davis fight enough quality guys to prepare him for some of the more challenging opponents in his career over the years? I don't think so. He fought a lot of dudes that really had no significant advantages or no real chance to beat him, if any at all, right? So that's what I see from Tank Davis. So when he gets in there with a guy like Devin, when he gets in there with a guy like Shakur, how will his performance be? We don't know. He fought a lot of the same dudes. And I'll be looking forward to seeing him fight a guy like Shakur. But me knowing boxing, I know that's likely never going to happen. Right? He told him years ago, stop calling me out. So I believe that still applies today, even though when he got fights lined up, he acted like he ready for all the smoke. But then when there's no fights lined up, you can't find him, you can't hear him. It's almost like he's not even part of the sport anymore. Until you get that announcement that he's fighting Chavez. Until you get that announcement that he's fighting Rodriguez or Garcia. So Shakur Stevenson got to be careful. You can talk yourself out of a fight dealing with a guy like Tank Davis. And I'm going to take fan for the guys who may be new to the channel. I'm actually a fan, but I'm also a realist. You got to be careful when you come out here talking about guys like Tank Davis. We heard what Calvin Ford said. You talk yourselves out of the fight. They told that to Devin Haney. You got to be kidding. Talk yourself out of a fight. I'm going to make you starve. This is the mindset that these guys have. So if you think they have that mindset with Devin, you for damn sure best believe they got that same mindset for Shakur Stevenson. All right? So yeah, you guys, will Shakur ever get this fight with Tank Davis? I don't really think so. Shakur acknowledges Tank Davis is the A side. It will take somebody like Tank Davis to actually make that fight happen. There's not much Shakur Stevenson can do to force a fight like that to happen unless the fans and the media get behind it, or unless Team Gervonta Tank Davis actually wants that fight themselves. Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.